Thank you for joining with me. We're in the Manual for Teachers, Section 4. What are the characteristics of God's teacher? 1 of 4 is trust, and we are in paragraphs 3 and 4. We left off yesterday in what is it that induces them to make the shift. And first, they must go through what might be called a period of undoing. This need not be painful, but it usually is so experienced. It seems as if things are being taken away, and it is rarely understood initially that their lack of value is merely being recognized. How can lack of value be perceived unless the perceiver is in a position where he must see things in a different light? He is not yet at a point at which he can make the shift entirely internally, and so the plan will sometimes call for changes in what seem to be external circumstances. And let me read footnote 31. The essence of this first period seems to be that the newly qualified teacher of God is beginning to realize the lack of value of external things. Yet to make this realization complete, he will need to experience external things seemingly being taken from him. This will leave him in a position where he is forced to either suffer over their loss or free himself by recognizing that they never had value in the first place. And I certainly have gone through this in my life, probably a couple of times, so... Okay, these changes are always helpful. When the teacher of God has learned that much, he goes on to the second stage. And I can tell you, in my experience, having lost everything or thrown it away, whichever way you want to put it, because it wasn't taken from me. I put myself in positions to lose it. So, and the pain of that, going through that process, but then the gratitude of realizing, phew, I didn't need it, I don't even remember half of it. Next, the teacher of God must go through a period of sorting out. And I just want to say this real quick about having things, losing things is, it's I used to cry about, my kids' artwork that I lost from when they were kids. And that had more meaning for me than, gosh, I don't know, pottery or, houseware, or furniture, or cars, But it all has the same value because none of it really matters. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. Next, the teacher of God must go through a period of sorting out. This is always somewhat difficult because having learned that the changes in his life are always helpful, he now must divide all things on the basis of whether they increase the helpfulness or hamper it. He will find that many, if not most of the things he valued before will merely hinder his ability to transfer what he has learned to new situations as they arise. Footnote 32. The things the teacher of God is sorting out appear to be the things in his life. In the first period, some of these things were taken away, and though he discovered they had really been valueless all along, and through this he discovered they had really been valueless all along. Now, based on this lesson, he has to divide all the things in his life into those that are valuable and those that are valueless. Which it kind of goes hand in hand. Because he has valued what is really valueless, he will not generalize the lesson for fear of loss and sacrifice. It takes great learning to understand that all things, events, encounters, and circumstances are helpful. It is only to the extent to which they are helpful that any degree of reality should be accorded them in the world of illusion. The word value can apply to nothing else. And I'm going to stop there for today. Thank you so much. Part 4, what are the characteristics of teachers? God. Part 1, trust. God, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Thank you for joining with me.